All right, success students, we're currently working on space. Our previous project was a perspective drawing showing objects in the foreground, middle ground, and background. This next project is going to be about positive versus negative space. You're going to do an observation drawing of an object and make sure it takes up the majority of the page, like a pair of scissors, a spoon. So I'm going to go ahead and draw a spoon, or you can go ahead and draw a pair of scissors. Don't trace it. Look at it with your eyes and then draw what you see. And I'm going to go ahead and give a demonstration. You don't have to worry about the interior details. Just worry about the outside line. At that point, you're going to then take another sheet of paper, create a watercolor wash on it, and then wait for it to dry, tear it up into little bits, and glue down either the inside or the outside. I've already pre-made some videos about that. So I'm going to give you a brief demonstration on what it is like to draw an observation drawing and try to consume the whole piece of paper. And then after I'm done with that, I'm going to show you what I mean when it comes to consuming up space, the positive space versus negative space. And I'm going to look at the spoon and I'm going to draw it on this piece of paper, but I'm going to try to draw it so big where it fills up the whole piece of paper. And it's okay if you don't, if you draw it too small. Try again on another sheet of paper. There you go. And this time I'm going to draw, I'm going to draw the scissors. It is totally okay to come off the piece of paper. It is not a big deal. All right. Ta-da! The things I want you to notice about this piece is that it takes up the whole piece of paper and it's not perfect. So now we have these lines that start breaking it up. You can do two things. You can either start taking your watercolor mosaic and filling up all this negative space and leaving the inside blank, or you can take the negative mosaic and fill up all the inside space and leaving the outside blank. Whichever space you use, that's the space that becomes positive. Our next step is we're going to take another sheet of paper, and it can be lined paper or anything, and you're going to put down watercolor wash, meaning you're going to get some watercolor paint, and you can make watercolor paint out of markers, and you're going to get a brush and start putting the paint on there, let it dry. And then you're going to take it and you're going to start ripping it up into pieces and start putting it onto this, gluing it to this piece right here. The question is, where are you going to glue it? Are you going to glue it on this outside space, or are you going to glue it on this interior space? If you glue it on the outside space, leave the interior blank. If you glue it onto the inside space, leave the outside blank. Whatever space you use, that becomes a positive space. And the space that is blank with nothing, that is negative. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and show you guys those other videos of how to create watercolor paper and how to start tearing it up and consuming your space. And I want you to remember, you don't have to consume the inside space. You can also consume the outside space too. Whatever floats your boat. All right. But if you just want to follow the video and do the interior space, that is totally okay. And then you're going to need the paper you colored yesterday, either with the marker, the homemade watercolor using marker, or actual watercolors. My wife made this one, and then I made these two. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut up these papers, and I'm going to create a mosaic in all the negative space on this drawing. The negative space is all the white space.